If you clicked on this video, it's because you want to make some serious cash. You dream of making $10,000 per month because if you made that kind of money, every aspect of your life would be better. You could quit your job that you hate. You could provide for the people that you love. You could take your partner out on a beautiful date and pay the bill like a gentleman. You could travel whenever you want. In fact, you could work anywhere in the world as long as you have a laptop and a steady internet connection. Now the truth is, online, you will find countless videos claiming to teach you the truth about making 10k per month online. But the harsh reality check is that if you make 10k per month, you are in the top 1% worldwide. So what this means naturally is that 99% of people will never actually get there. This is because life, and even society in general, is always operating under a form of hierarchy. So the people at the top will make the most money and the people at the bottom will always be fighting for scraps. You cannot change the rules of the game. The world is profoundly unfair. I mean, if you take a look at nature, the strong kills the weak. Only the most adaptable species can reproduce, pass on their genes, and survive. So instead of complaining about it, trying to make people change, trying to change human nature, which you won't be able to, you can only choose which group you want to be a part of. Now you've got to be careful, because on your quest to success, a lot of people will try to purposefully mislead you and give you the wrong type of information. Because let's face it, they don't want to see you do better than them. They don't want to see you succeed. Now you know what it's like to be broke. Personally, I slept in a basement infested with rats, and I've also slept in some of the best buildings in Europe. I've been in a car worth $10,000 with a broken fucking window, and I've also been in a car worth more than most people's houses. That's why my goal with this video is to share with you every possible path you can take to make $10,000 per month. Now the first path would be to get a high-paying career. However, if you look at the facts objectively, you realize it's out of the question for most people anyway. The issue with a traditional high-paying career is that first, your opportunities, like the jobs that you can get, they will be directly tied to a specific location. So if you grew up in a small town, there won't be many opportunities around. You'll need to move to a bigger city. But first, can you even afford it? And then to get accepted, to get those jobs, to work for these big companies, you need a lot of skill. So this means that you will need to go to university, study for like at least 5 years and get massively in debt, because for most people, they can't afford to pay 100k for a degree, even more than that sometimes. And even these kind of elitist universities like Harvard, Stanford, Yale, they only accept the brightest students anyway. They don't create successful people. They only accept the people most likely to succeed and then take credit for their accomplishments. But the truth is, these same people, they're very smart, very talented, and they have an insane work ethic, so they would succeed with or without the school anyway. So if you're not academically bright, they won't even consider your application, but you could be extremely smart in your own way, because there isn't just one type of intelligence. And in fact, I would go as far as saying the type of intelligence that is valued by school, which is academic intelligence, is the least important type of intelligence, because nowadays, computers like the cloud, the internet, these things are better at storing information than we will ever be. Different types of intelligence can include emotional intelligence, academic intelligence, mathematical intelligence, and many more. Now the other path that you could use to get to $10,000 per month is investing in crypto. Now I'm going to be completely honest with you, that is the most stupid thing that you can possibly do. Like a lot of people, they thought, oh, crypto was gonna make them rich. Like, you know, they just put some money into a shitcoin and then they get super rich. No effort, no work, just luck, pure luck. But would you want to rely on luck to build your future, to take care of your financial situation? That's how thousands of people from all over the world put all their savings into crypto and then lost everything. That's money that instead they could have used to feed their families. But because they hoped to get rich without any effort, without any sacrifice, they lost everything. Their greed got the best of them. And let's say you did invest in crypto and you became an overnight multi-millionaire. Let me tell you one thing, it wouldn't actually serve you, it would only harm you. Now you may wonder why. I mean, how could receiving a lot of money, millions of dollars, hurt you? Wouldn't it solve every problem that you have? And if not every problem, well, at least 99% of them? Some people will tell you, oh, money doesn't make happiness. Just because you make more money doesn't mean that you will be more happy. And that's true. But at the same time, let's be honest, the people who say that are oftentimes broke themselves. As opposed to putting in the work to becoming wealthier, they prefer to stay where they are, in their little comfort zones, in their mediocrity. I mean, it takes a lot more hard work, a lot more perseverance to climb to the top and to actually build yourself into someone who makes more money, as opposed to staying there and coping and saying, oh, money won't make you happy. Except that it will destroy 99% of the problems that you face. Because think about it, most of the problems that you face, couldn't they simply be solved by having more money? Yes, they could. Now, we're not talking about problems like losing the love of your life, losing your father, your mother, because no amount of money in the whole world could actually help alleviate that pain. Only time can heal this type of wounds. Now, the stats actually show that most lottery winners lose everything within just a couple of years. So you'd be thinking that life is doing you a massive favor by giving you all this money, by turning you into an overnight crypto millionaire. But the truth is, it's the complete opposite. It's doing you a disservice. Giving money to people does not help them, it only makes them sink. Now you may wonder why that's the case. That's because your financial situation is created by who you are as a person. Now if that sounds too woo-woo, just bear with me here. Someone who is broke, they act and they think like someone who's broke. They don't act and they don't think the way that multimillionaires do. So guess what happens when they receive $100 million? They will still think and behave as a broke person would. They will still buy only liabilities, things that lose money instead of assets, things that gain value over time and make people richer, increase their net worth. So because they keep acting like a broke person, even though now they have $100 million in the bank, guess what? Within just a couple of years, they will be right back to square one. They will have lost everything. That's typically why when you see multimillionaires losing their money during, let's say, a crisis, they can get back to being extremely wealthy, to making a lot of money, making 7, 8, 9 figures a year very quickly, more quickly than it takes a beginner to go from 0 to 8 figures. It's kind of like the concept of muscle memory at the gym. When you stop lifting for a while, you lose all your muscle. But then if you go back to the gym a few months after, a couple years after, you will benefit from the phenomenon of muscle memory, which means your body remembers how to build the muscle. And because it's already done it in the past, now it's going to be a lot faster and a lot more efficient. It's going to be a lot easier for your body to rebuild all that lost muscle mass. So if you see a skinny dude next to you at the gym making very fast progress, don't automatically assume he's on steroids, because for all you know, a couple years ago he was an advanced lifter. But for some reason, he had to stop training. Maybe he simply didn't want to, lost the motivation, or for medical reasons, health issues, he couldn't train. That's why, ironically, when you look at someone, you're judging them, but you have no idea like who they are, what they're doing. Now, the next path to get to $10,000 per month is investing in real estate. Now, if you make it your full-time job, you become absolutely obsessed with the thought of generating great wealth through real estate. Over time, if you keep at it, you work extremely hard, you can become extremely wealthy. You can have a 9-figure net worth. But if you're seriously buying into the lie that real estate influencers are telling you, like, you can invest in real estate with no down payments, it's gonna be easy. You can just do it a couple hours on the side every week or every month, and at some point you'll be able to stop working and live because of the rent that you get from your tenants. Let me tell you one thing, that is bullshit advice. You've got to realize this one thing if you're interested in real estate. It is a full-blown business. In fact, it's even more than a full-time job. And let's say you decide to get started. You get a loan from the bank, you can buy your first apartment. Guess what? You're still going to be competing against the biggest companies in the world that have billions of dollars to invest in real estate. And you hope to win just doing it passively a couple hours a week? Seriously? I mean, the guy who goes full-time on it, it's his obsession. He's gonna crush you, he's gonna get the better deals, and in fact, you lose money. And what if for some reason your investment fails? Now you're 100k, 300k in debt, you've got to repay all that money, take a crappy job, take the subway every morning, wake up at 5, all of that to repay your loan. Now, so-called financial experts will tell you, oh, but it's good debt, because you're investing in an asset which will make you money, which will increase your net worth, as opposed to investing in a liability, like let's say getting a car on finance, which is a very stupid thing to do. But personally, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. If I had any debts whatsoever, even if it's called good debt by the experts, I could not sleep peacefully at night. Because you need to realize this one thing. In life, you don't always control the outcome. I could publish this video on YouTube, it could get 10 views, it could get 1 million views. Sure, I have some ways to influence the outcome. I can speak in a better way, edit the video in a better way, make a better thumbnail. But even then, I still don't fully control the outcome. And a lot of people, they're not willing to accept that. And when you owe someone money, no matter what the experts say, you are still not free. You're still a slave. You owe someone something that is not a position that you want to be in. If you want to lend money to others, do it. It's a position of dominance. But if you owe someone money, you are being dominated, which takes away some of your freedom, of your space to think. And if you don't know what you're doing, you're always going to have this thought in the back of your head thinking, what if I lose everything? What if this doesn't work? And now it's not like you're betting $1,000 on a course, on a program, on a product. You're betting your entire life on it. Now the next path you can take to make $10,000 per month is investing in the stock market. A lot of people preach that this is the best way to get rich. Like anyone can become a millionaire as long as they invest in the stock market for 60 years straight. Is that even true? Now theoretically speaking, if we do a quick simulation, if we use the power of the compound effect, let's say we invest $1,000 in the stock market and every single month we are going to invest $100. Over the course of 60 years, if we get a return on investment of 10% every year, you would end up with close to $4 million. Now that sounds amazing at first, so why shouldn't you do it? It's a surefire way to get rich. And it's only going to take you a couple hours a month at best to review your portfolio. Now with inflation, you'd be closer to having $2 million as opposed to $4 million. Now that's still amazing, for sure, until you realize you'll still need to pay taxes on top of all of that. And sure, let's say you're left with like 500k. Well, it's better than nothing, right? The thing is, yes, but you're 80 years old, so you didn't really get to enjoy the best part of your life, which is your 20s, your 30s. You were slaving away, working for a job that you hate, and every single day you saw those people on social media, myself included, having so much fun, living the sort of life that you've always wanted to live. And now, yeah, you're 80, you've got 500k, let's say $1 million, $2 million, but then what? You're gonna die soon. You need someone to help you to go to the bathroom. How great is life then, even if you have money? Because I can tell you for a fact that every single billionaire or multi-millionaire above the age of 50, sometimes even younger than that, they would actually be willing to give up half of their wealth, like even 9/10 of their wealth to be 20 years younger again. Because time is infinitely more precious than money ever will be. Money is a resource created by man, whereas time, it happens. It flies by. No matter what you do, you can't escape it. No one can. No matter how much money you have, no matter how famous you are, time will kill us all. The truth is that real estate and the stock market are tools that the wealthy use to get even wealthier. Because if they have 100k in the bank, 500k in the bank, $10 million in the bank, what happens if they don't invest that money in assets? With inflation, they lose money year after year, just like the poor and the middle class. So instead, they're smarter than that. They pour that money back into the economy by investing into assets, by buying stocks, by buying apartments. And so now, all they have to do is to hold on to those assets and they become wealthier as a result, increasing their net worth in the process. But those same tools, they were not meant to turn the average Joe into a multi-millionaire. They were made to make the rich richer. And besides, even if you study to invest in real estate at a young age, it's like the quality of your life day to day, month after month, year after year, it wouldn't actually change. That's why the next path is actually better. It's to start a brick and mortar business. So what's a brick and mortar business? It's typically when you start a restaurant, a gym, a hair salon, a physical business. Now this can be very profitable and make you a lot of money. And so far, out of everything we've talked about, it is the best path to get to $10,000 per month. However, let's be honest, it's also very costly to start. Like you'd need to come up with at least 100 grand to a few $1,000,000, sometimes like dozens of millions of dollars to start that business. Like at the gym I go to, there's this ad on the wall and it basically says, if you want to start investing, you need to at least invest 100 grand. And most people, they don't have 100 grand to invest. So again, you need to go to the bank, ask for a loan, get in debt, which they might not even approve of it to begin with. And then it's like, what if for some reason your business venture fails? Now you need to repay all that debt. Good luck. You're literally enslaving yourself when you do that. And let's say you wanted to open up a gym, a restaurant, but it's a couple years in the past. An epidemic shuts down the whole world. Governments declare people can't even get out of their house. The whole planet is on lockdown. If you have a gym, how the hell are you going to be profitable? If you have a hair salon, how the hell are you going to be profitable? I mean, if you're a restaurant, you could offer at-home delivery, but gyms, hair salons, spas, lots of businesses, they couldn't even operate. They couldn't even function. In the US alone, over 700,000 small businesses had to shut down their doors because of it. Now the truth is, there is a much better way to go about this. And that's the next path we're gonna speak about. The funny thing is that when I was around 11 years old, I stumbled upon a video on YouTube. It was a guy claiming that he made 50k to 70k per month with his own online business. As a kid, I saw all the adults around me just growing up, working dead-end jobs that they hated. I saw how it affected their relationships. I saw how it made them fall for many vices, many addictions. I saw what lack of money did to people, how it ruined your life. So I needed to know how to make more money, how to get rich. But when I stumbled upon that YouTube video, the guy showed us the Stripe dashboard. I could see it. The money was there. He wasn't lying. And I thought, if I was making 50k to 70k per month, I could do anything I want. Like that's more money than most people will ever see. Most people won't even make that in a year, so let alone in a month. And from that day forward, I set out to learn everything I could on online business. And you've got to ask yourself this question. How come these 15-year-olds, these 20-year-olds, they can make in a month what doctors make in a year? And the doctors, to make that kind of money, they had to study in university for 15 years and then practice for like 5 years. But the 20-year-old is 20-year-old. So if it takes 20 years to at least get to that level, from the moment that you can go to university, you see that quite clearly there is a better path. If I had decided to go to university, to follow the conventional path, to do like everyone else, I would have never been able to live this kind of life. I've recorded a free guide in which I analyze every popular online business model. Together we take a look at the pros, at the cons, and I'm also going to share with you, for completely free, the 3-step process that you can use to get your first customers as quickly as possible. If you're interested, I invite you to click on the first link in the description below. Now with that said, what are you waiting for? It's time to get to work.